Welcome back to the Newbie Gains podcast with a very special guest. We've got our community manager, Sarah, and we're interviewing another DTA superstar. We've got Meagen on the call. Meagen, welcome to your very first podcast and interview with me and Sarah.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yeah, so Megan's been with the DTA since January. We've lost about 15 pounds. And she does all her workouts from home. She doesn't miss a fix your form segment. She gets all of her exercise critiqued, updated, fixed, and she keeps on coming back for more. She's definitely made for more. Me and Sarah are going to ask her a few questions to showcase some of her results. 15 pounds in 3 months working from home. Some people can't even lose 15 pounds in a year. So that is freaking amazing. So, so Meagen, for those people that don't know who you are, can you tell us a little bit more about you, what you do, and how you got started with us?
Sure. So I'm a software quality assurance analyst with a research and development company in fire detection. Pretty much the company's called Johnson Controls, but I work in the fire detection department. I started in a smaller group. I switched over, so now I'm just working with software. Last year I was promoted to tech supervisor and lab manager. So I have a small team. It's only four technicians, but I have to still organize their work and get them assigned to different analysts and everything for the different projects. So I've been doing that now for 16 and a half years. So I started right out of school. Been not married, but been with my boyfriend for 24 years. So you guess you can consider us married. And we have two girls. The oldest will be 15 and the other one is 13.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Okay. Quite a bit of things on your hands there. So I found out recently before this interview that you're a vice president of your kids orchestrating group, right?
Yep. She joined orchestra last year. She's been playing violin for 6 years.
Okay.
And last year she had an opportunity to join in a youth orchestra. So there's her and about 50 other musicians, all playing violin or cello. And last year I was just a volunteer parent. And this year they were looking for new committee members because the committee was always really small.
Mm.
And it's hard to make decisions when there's a really small group. So I took on the challenge and they assigned me as VP.
Oh, congratulations. Now before
Responsibility.
now before we dive in and talk about how like your achievements since coming here,
Yeah.
what made you decide to reach out to the Dream Team Academy and what was your biggest struggle before joining?
I had kind of found you on Instagram maybe a couple months before I joined. And I just kept re-seeing posts and especially Megan Hicks, her transformation kept coming back. And all the little short like clips that you did with Joe for like fix your form and everything like that. And I wanted to message a couple times and I had actually like, started typing and then I was like, oh no, I can't this isn't for me. And I never did it. And then I don't know, just New Year's was coming and I was like, something's got to change. I didn't like where I was at. It was time to just like message you and just get it over with.
Get it over with. You knew what was coming. You know, it's funny. I'm
Yeah.
very direct. So you joined in January.
Yep.
Here's the thing, right? A lot of people that have these New Year's resolutions, they have the idea, they have it written down, they have their big elaborate goals. You're someone that actually wrote it down, set a target, and actually collaborated with a coach to actually foresee your plan coming through.
Right.
So, what was your nutrition and training like before? Like before January, like what were you doing?
I was working out at least like I tried to do at least 3 days a week with my setup here at home. And I was following another platform and I was paying like $10 a month for the videos, but I just found it was like just training video after training video, and I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. My diet was okay. Like I haven't really stopped eating the things I was eating before, but I've cut out the excess, like the extra 400 calorie muffin in the middle of the afternoon that is a meal in itself, you know? it's all those extra little things. And I already knew that this is what I had to do because I've done it in the past. But for some reason, I guess just life got in the way at some point and it just spiraled out of control. So I needed something to help me regain that control.
Okay. Do you mind sharing what spiraling out of control looked like for you?
Just like my kids in a lot of activities, so like the workouts would kind of suffer or a lot of eating out. Um, it's just lack of time really and just not it's deciding to sit on the couch and do nothing instead of taking an hour and going to do a workout or not eating properly, like skipping breakfast and then I pay for it later in the afternoon and then it's never ending snacking. Just like that's the spiraling out of control and just seeing the weight packing on. Like every year it's like another 10 pounds. What the heck, like that type of thing. That's the spiraling
Mm,
out of control.
It's
okay.
pretty crazy how the nutrition takes a back seat, isn't it? Like, just when you have kids or work or whatever the obligation is. And it's like, well, I don't need to eat, or I'll just drop into Starbucks and grab that muffin or that little, tray that they say is really high protein, but has just as many carbs, or, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Um, I want to know what the difference is now, because I don't think that your schedule has changed enough. If, from what I understand, you're probably busier with now being VP of the orchestra committee and your job, leading that team and, answering to all those guys that are,
Yeah.
I know it's information that you've got for them, but like, what's changed for you that now you are, like able to focus on your nutrition and finding the time to do these workouts and fit it into your busy schedule?
Um, I think probably like in a way, I think COVID might have helped me in a way because I do work from home more often than I'm at the office. Like I go to the office when I really need to, if the techs need help or whatever. But I think working from home because I have the flexibility to be able to do things during the day that I'm not rushed to do in the evening. So I can take that time in the evening and focus on myself instead of
And let's
just giving all of my evening time to everybody else and nothing for me.
Yeah,
So
and
I think that's been a big help.
yeah, and it just shows again how you're effective at your job. Because if you can now work from home, still get all your work done, and have time to find time to meal prep or get a workout in that time. I mean, it just shows even employers who may have been thinking about keeping open the work from home option for people after
Yeah,
COVID finished, right? Because that happened. And for a while, people were still working from home. And then employers started making the transition back to going to the office. But I
right.
understand that a lot of places were thinking about, making it flexible, because clearly you're still getting things done. And I think that it probably makes a better work balance life for you. And in the end, makes you also more productive at work, right? I would
Yeah,
think. I mean, I don't have a work from
exactly.
home job, so I don't, what I mean, know what that's like, but I can only imagine.
But that is the case because, like, in my case, they did try to force us back when we changed management a little bit. They did some like reorganization after COVID, and it didn't work because people were like, no, we don't need to be there. Look, when we need to be there, we're there. We're getting the work done either way. And that's the case for me. Like, I know if my employees need me, I will be there. If I have something to do, I will be there. But if not, there's no point in me driving there to get it done when I can do the same thing from home. And I've even done a workout while I've been logged into work, like because it's been a slow period. So I'm like, hey, may as well get my workout done?
And that's multitasking at its finest. Good for
Yep.
you.
Now, a lot of people that work from home don't have the motivation slash discipline like you have. You actually have a home gym setup.
Yep.
Okay. So
Crazy
tell
Jensen.
me, yeah, you have a pretty dope gym setup. So how long have you had your home gym and when did you start with that type of training style?
Home gym started probably eight, 8 or 9 years ago.
Guess for a while.
Um, yeah, for a while it's because my husband too wanted to do some workouts at home too. So he slowly started buying like the squat rack and the weights and everything like that. I mean, I had like my easy bar and some small dumbbells and like I have like a weighted vest and a sandbag. And then slowly we kind of just started building from there. But when I started working out, I was doing mostly HIIT workouts. That's pretty much all I was doing was HIIT. And
Okay.
then
Yeah.
eventually I started incorporating some running.
Okay. With the HIIT workouts that you were doing before,
Yeah.
what type of results were you seeing?
I had results, believe it or not. I was down. My lowest I got with HIIT workouts was 158, but I had a lot of muscle. Like it was, I'm smaller than I am now. I think I was wearing like size 30 pants, and I was, yeah, 158, but muscle. Like I could see my abs, and but it just started. I was good for a couple of years, and then slowly it just started weaning,
Yeah. So
spiraling
for
down.
people that don't know, you're at 158 doing your HIIT workouts, and then like what did you get to? What was like the cycle that just like dropped?
Lack of time.
Okay. And what
That was
how much did you weigh at the very end of that?
158.
No, as in like when it got up.
You went
Oh,
up.
oh, before I started DTA, I was at
Yeah.
199.
So that was your highest.
Yep,
So
my
that's when
highest
things
ever.
199, and that's when you decided to message us in January and say like I need help. Why
Yeah,
couldn't you go back to the same HIIT training that you were doing before that was working?
I wasn't motivated for it. I followed them for so long because when I first started HIIT training, I was following something called Body Rock. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. And it was good, but it was very like it started getting a little too heavy on the half naked girls, and I was like, yeah, this is not my jam anymore. I got two young kids. Like, I need some mom stuff somewhere, or some people that are on the same level as me, that are like experiencing the same life things as I am, because I can't relate to any of those people. So it was hard,
Relatability is huge.
and
Yeah.
it was very impersonal because you're just paying for a program, but nothing is really personalized. It's just a bunch of workouts. So you can't really turn to anybody to ask for advice or ask for help, right? So
Mm.
it later evolved into something else that I was following with the person who left that Body Rock platform. And it was good with her. It was a little more personal, but again, not tailored to what I needed. It was just videos reposted that she of her workouts, and you could follow along. And she had like the breakdowns and everything, but it just wasn't. But I kept up with it for a while. But after that, I don't know, I just slowly started like getting disinterested because it wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't motivating.
Very interesting that you
Doesn't
said
sound
that.
very, yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't sound very engaging. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't sound engaging and pretty generic, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have lasted that long either.
because
Like I
a lot of people get confused about what to follow, and then they find something that works, they get the results, but they don't continue, and they realize, what is it me? And a big part of what we do, and I would like you to elaborate on it, is having a like-minded community of women or even some guys to actually co-create what we call the Dream Team Academy, which is like pushing each other forward, being 1% better, empowering one another, not in this like woo-woo way, but actually intentionally doing it. Like we set up in our community, what are your wins for the week? What are your goals for the week? And we reframe that every week consistently. Because like our biggest thing is like we're winners, not from when we lose the weight, but from when we start our journey. So when you came into the Dream Team Academy and you found the community and you found those like-minded individuals, the mums, the people that are in the same jam as you are, like what were some of the questions that you were asking? What kind of feedback were you getting from the community? What did the community do for you?
motivation, like motivation is a big thing because I see everyone else like getting their stuff done, and everyone is like so positive. It's not like there's no competition feeling. It's everyone supporting everybody. And like from past platforms, like you didn't have that. It was not very personal. It was just like you're paying something and that's it. But here, like it's just everyone's so friendly, everyone's engaging. If you have a question, you ask it and you get an answer almost instantly. It's just like even if you're feeling like crap, like you can go and message and people will like pump you up, you
Can
know?
you,
So,
is there a
and
specific
sometimes
example?
just reading other people.
Is there a specific example where you
Um,
were like in a rut or you had a struggle and you reached out?
You're really great, Meagen. You're really great at giving advice for nutrition. Like
yeah,
in our mega chat, when people are looking for nutrition advice, you are there with like A, B, C, D. This is what I do. So you're one of those people that's really helpful. But you're right.
I
Like we celebrate together and we struggle together. We do it all together. I think it makes
yeah,
it
like
hear.
I don't think I've really shared any of my struggles on the platform,
Mm,
except for the one that I had that I shared with you, Patrick, when I was going away for that weekend and I was like really worried about food. But like, I think what helps is just going and reading other people's struggles and then realizing, hey, I'm really not alone. Like, I might not be sharing if I have something bothering me, but just seeing everybody else sharing and then like me being able to maybe help them, it's that in itself is like help for me, because
yeah.
I have to reach inside and I have to think about like what to say. How can I help this person? So it makes me reflect on myself at the same time.
So in the other communities you were in, like you didn't feel that that was like a thing that they focus on?
No, I mean, even in the Facebook group, it was just like people posting their PRs and their workouts and a bunch of videos, and that was it. It wasn't like anybody really like talking about their struggles or asking questions, or it was just people just it felt more like a competition in that group.
Mm, okay. Okay. Yeah. Look, there's different communities for different people. When I created this community a few years ago, Megan, what I decided to do was not frame it as a certain community. I wanted the community to create it itself. So whoever's in there is the energy, the driving force of what we have now. So you
Yeah.
guys started it, like Sarah being the community manager. She does an amazing job at keeping her hands on top of everyone and making sure that everyone's a part of the community challenge, which you're a part of right now. Um, let's go back to your workouts. What do you think are some of the most important um, things that people need when it comes to working out from home? Like what type of equipment do you use? What's necessary for you to see, like you see 15 pounds fat loss in the last 3 months just from doing weight training. Like we're not doing any cardio. So what's been working for you?
Um, if you're just starting out, use anything you can. If you don't have any equipment, just use whatever you can. Water bottles with the handles, like those 4-liter jugs. I mean, use those as kettlebells for weights. You can even do biceps with those. I mean, that's pretty much how I started. I just used whatever I could. Um,
If
if
you
you
could say
want
like what are the top three like things you would say if you're gonna go say on Amazon or go to Walmart or wherever and buy a couple pieces of equipment, what do you think are the most important things someone would want to start? Like just some basic workouts.
um, probably a good set of dumbbells. Doesn't have to be heavy. You could start with 5 pounds, 10 pounds, because you can use those for anything, upper body, lower body. Um, I would probably say some bands. It doesn't matter which ones, the bands you can put around your legs or the super bands, because if you get the right ones, they'll have handles and stuff, so you can do a load of activity of different workouts with those. And
You've been
it's
adding a lot of
water.
extra intensity to our monthly
Yeah,
challenge this month with your bands, like just
yeah,
adding that extra kick to our glutes workouts.
yeah, just that alone. The other thing I would say is if you want to incorporate cardio and you don't know where to start, I started with those ropeless skipping rope. So it's just a handle with the balls on the end. I mean, it's the dumbest thing. It's cheap, but if you just want to start jogging in place and using that as a skipping rope because you're not good at skipping, go with that. I mean, it gets
Cool.
some cardio in, it gets you moving, and that's where you need to start. You just need to start by getting yourself moving.
You're right.
Powerful. Okay, let's talk about your nutrition. Okay. Now, before you came, were you doing any fad dieting? Did you ever like do Weight Watchers or like talk to me about your past dieting experiences?
Okay, so never dieted until I was in my early 20s. And I started with Weight Watchers. I never liked myself before Weight Watchers. Like I always had body image issues because I've always been on the heavier side. So I started with Weight Watchers, and it was a mom-daughter thing. Like my mom was on it, I was on it, my sister was on it. So like the three of us were doing it together. I guess it was supposed to be motivating or something, but um I did good on it, but it was just weight. Like I wasn't training back then. So I lost a lot of weight, but it slowly started coming back on when I stopped Weight Watchers. Because they really don't teach you how to eat. That's the problem. So you kind of end up going back to where you were, where you started from.
Yep.
And then I would say after, I think when my oldest was about 5, so I'd say 2014 is when I started with Beachbody first. So I was doing the Shaun T dance workouts. So it was a video you ordered and you stuffed it in your DVD player and you just danced along, but it didn't really help.
But like not, I mean, not for, I mean, to get the kind of results you're getting now, like build muscle and things like that. That sounds more like
Exactly.
a cardio workout. It does sound fun, fun as heck. I love dancing, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to
Well,
really bring like probably big results or like super long lasting results.
exactly. And then that's when I found Body Rock. And Body Rock was more weight. It was HIIT training, but it was weights. So there was a lot of weight involved. And that's when I started lifting. But again, nothing with tempo. It's HIIT. So everything's like high intensity, right?
So
So you build muscle, but it takes a long time.
That
But you lose fat.
the training that we've been showing you recently about changing your tempo, and for those that are listening, don't know what tempo training looks like, is every week Megan's been putting her form videos in the gym, of her home gym into our Trainerized group chat. And then like she's doing squats, she's doing remaining deadlifts, and she's like doing the exercise a bit too quickly. So when we slow the tempo down, she's able to activate more muscle fiber. She's able to control her form, so she's working more muscle and less joint. Because she came from a hit background, everything was like fast, 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 go, go, go. When you do things like beach body or anything that's in a group environment, you're not really thinking about technique. You're thinking about go as fast as you can. The body kind of doesn't really adapt very well if it's something that's like the same thing over and over again. So when we get you to slow down in your form, your technique, I think you put a before and after photo up just recently about your genes and stuff like that, and you've already seen some changes. So what have you noticed from the short time that you've been with us over the last 3 months with your body composition? How's your body shaping after doing the type of training we've been showing you?
Um, I can see where I always tend to lose in specific places first, but I can feel like I know my quads are developing. Like I can feel muscle that I didn't have before with HIIT training because it was like a lot of weight loss, but like the muscle was there, but it wasn't the same. Like I can feel it coming in faster actually than it was
Mm.
before.
Interesting. Interesting.
like
Okay, I got a
confidence.
question for you. For those newbies that are like watching this or people that have just started with us over the last 30 days, there's got a few in this group. Really exciting. What advice do you have for anyone who's just getting started with learning about macros, learning about structured weight training, tempo, form fixing, being a part of a positive environment? Like, what are the maybe 2 or 3 lessons you can give to the newbies that are just starting?
Don't try to do it all at once. So focus on one thing at a time. If you struggle mostly with your nutrition first, then focus on making small changes with that first. And once you feel like you're good with that, then move on to something else to try to master. Um, don't be too hard on yourself because it's always hard at the beginning, but once you get into a rhythm, it becomes a lot easier. And probably just reach out for help. Like if you're not sure of something, just ask a question. Even if you think it's the stupidest question in the world, just ask it because chances are someone's already asked that question or someone has an answer for it. So don't be shy. I I at the beginning I told Patrick that like I don't like to share. I'm not very open about like posting pictures of me and my workout gear and like it's fine if he sees my progress photos, but I never thought I would post them myself. But after doing it, don't be afraid because nobody here is judging anybody. We've all been there. We all know what everyone's going through. I mean, don't be shy. Reach out.
That's how you build
And that's
confidence.
incredible. That's incredible because you post every day now.
I
Like
know.
nobody tells you. Every day we get your beautiful meals. We see you working your butt off. in your home gym, every angle, jeans team, like workout gear. Like I go, I won't get over that. I hate that picture of you with your hand in your pants. Like you could fit your whole arm inside where your waist was. Like your change has been so cool. And you posting every day, we get to see it. Like I told you, like I could see it in your midsection. Your legs are looking really lean and strong. Like your quads are popping. Like you can tell the difference. You've been in the last, I think, three community challenges now. I think three, or is it four? Like you've been in the last three. You have been pushing on top of your own workouts and program every day, adding that little bit more, and it is showing. You're doing so awesome. We
Thank you.
love it. You're welcome.
Yes. Well, on that note, Meagen, we really appreciate you sharing your wisdom and lessons shoot throughout this last 3 months of you being here. Coming from a very intensive like background of fitness and like doing like Weight Watchers and Beachbody, like you have a lot to share in terms of like what you found here, what you found over there. And I think it'll help a lot of people navigate like the next 6 or 12 months for them, especially if they're not seeing results, or especially if they're so sick of like being in a community where everything's about, oh, how much weight you lost? Oh, you're not good enough, or PBs only. And it's just a competitive environment. So I love how you've echoed the statement of like who we are as a community. So I appreciate that as well.
We're
Me and
very
Sarah,
fortunate to have you. Yeah, we're
yeah.
very fortunate to have you.
Very grateful. So,
Yeah.
guys, that is all. If you want to get to know us even more, just message me on Instagram, just like every single person in this community has done, and just say transform, and let's start your journey as well. Other than that, thank you guys. That's it for the Newbie Gains podcast. We're out. Peace.
Thanks.
Peace.
Bye.
All right.